see what they, what they was gonna say, and the first thing that came out their mouth was, "I know who to take the information to. I knew who to take the information to because I knew that they would fall for it. They're so gullible." That's literally what the person had typed me back. So they already knew that they weren't you. You know what I'm saying? They just um I guess their whole purpose was to try to get some money out of it because they were saying that they needed money for a hotel room, they needed money for a Uber, to get like away from him supposedly at this hotel.
Every
Yeah,
time I went back to Nature Boy, it was on my own accord. I got my own self back to be or to every time I went back to him, I did it myself. I never asked my family for money. I never asked anybody for money when I went back every time to him. He bought my plane tickets and all of that stuff for me to come back to him every time. Which actually we were under an agreement. It wasn't like I went back to go be with him to support what he's doing. The unhealthy stuff that he is doing. I never went back to support that. I always went back with an agreement that we would at least try to work on keeping our family together and being monogamous and refraining from implying any type of abuse in any kind of way, whether it be emotionally, physically. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was trying to get him to stop doing that, but I can't change anyone, you know.
yeah.
So
But
I
the
had to completely remove myself, which I took the precautions this last time leaving from Puerto Rico,
yeah,
I just
myself,
want to
and I
say,
didn't ask anybody for any type of financial anything. Every time I've left Carbonation, it was always someone very close to me, relatively, that social media doesn't know about, that has helped me get back home every single time.
okay, and someone asked the question. They said that I'm not well, they said,
Then what?
did Lurker give you any money?
Not that I know of personally. She never, hit me up personally and gave me anything. I don't know if she donated without my knowing, but I've never taken anything from her like, like, yeah, let's get, I don't know anything about that.
Right.
what you talking about, kiss?
Somebody in the chat asked,
Yeah,
did did
yeah.
did Velvet ever receive any money from Lurker?
Ah,
No, I never received any money from Lurker.
yeah, Val, 'cause
Um, I
that
don't
day,
know. No, like I said, I don't. If she sent me something, you know what I'm saying, on some shit, I don't know. I don't know if that was her, but I've never taken anything from Lurker personally.
Mhm.
But so I don't know what people are saying. A lot of people think that I've made a lot of money off of certain things, but no, actually everybody's making money off of me taking my videos and putting them online and commentating everything that I do.
Okay. Yeah.
So
'cause that
it's
day was
just,
crazy, Val.
huh?
That day was really crazy. That was like, man, we was on the phone with the authorities over there, sending people to this hotel. I was on the phone with the man at the
God.
gas station across the street. Like, we had so many people involved in that day from that one phone call till it was like unbelievable. And when they went to the hotel, nobody was there that fit that description, sir. This man waiting in his store for you to walk across the street with the baby so he can keep you safe in his store until Uncle Ron or we had like different people coming to pick you up and stuff. It was like really crazy that day.
Yeah, I've heard that someone had she showed some pictures and insisted that that was me. That was not me. That body is not mine. I don't know who that was. I don't know who that is. But most of the times, like even online, some of the pages that's up, and people are contacting other people as me, like people are posing to be me through certain social medias. So y'all should be aware. You know, there's a lot of stuff I did hear about me being in like contacting other people and stuff like that, but I'm in fact not contacting anyone. Everybody on this panel is who I personally talk to on the every, on a somewhat of everyday basis, and I don't, that's it. You know what I'm saying? I don't talk to nobody outside of this circle because I've come to the realization, especially the last week or so, that people really don't have my best interest. It's weird because everybody watched what I went through online, but
Mhm.
unfortunately everybody doesn't have my best. Get down, get down, get down. Unfortunately everybody doesn't have my best interest because of their own personal agenda and game that they have going on with the back end of how wherever they mind working with the shits. But something that was irritating me today, um I know it took me a while to really get online and speak. Can you help him please? And speak about how I personally feel about things. There's a lot of controversy. Ouch, ouch. There's a lot of controversy around me speaking up about Nature Boy and being expressive about some of the things that happened. Which, when I was in carbonation, I was speaking out about them. You know, this is why I was always blasted online as violent, as somebody very violent, because I was fighting him. I was fighting other people there at times. And personally, I just want to say to everybody in carbonation, um, I don't have no ill intent towards nobody, or wish that uh they just, or not, I don't want to not help them, if that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? When I was there, I was trying to tell them that he didn't care. The women, I was trying to tell the women that he didn't care about them, but they didn't want to hear that. You know, they want to be with him sexually. It's all based around sex, and that was something that I highly disagree with, and that was the majority of our arguments. You know, was based around sexual activity, and this is the main one of the main reasons why I left from around him, because I didn't want to participate in the sexual activities. You know, I just didn't understand how it was going to be beneficial to our family, nor to any one of us individually on all parts of this spectrum. You
Mhm.
know, but something that I don't appreciate is how people went to carbonation, like they went to carbonation and they left, but like people make videos like here and there, like every once in a while. And something that Nature Boy had always said to me, he says like, you're gonna fade out just like the rest of them. You're not gonna mean nothing in a little bit of time. You're gonna fade out. Well, I'm here to tell everybody in carbonation that if you went to carbonation and you endured some type of physical trauma, mental trauma, emotional trauma, spiritual trauma, you should speak up about it and continue to speak your story on social media. You know what I'm saying? Like, you should still do that, because at the end of the day, Nature Boy feels like he owns everybody in carbonation. So he says shit to us like, you're not gonna ever be anything without me. You might as well get off a line, get off of social media. And because these people who went to carbonation are being banned, made fun of so much on social media, they refrain from it, and they don't get their story out, and they go into these depression states and all of this stuff. And I found myself in that space, and this is why I just kept continuing to speak out on social media whenever I felt, because what I wasn't going to allow Nature Boy to do, his energy, his spirit, to put me in a mental prison, because that's what he wants to do. And I'm not going to allow him to do that to me. And I know that everybody in carbonation are going through some type of mental instability from dealing with him. And the only way that you're going to bring awareness to what he's doing, if you want awareness to be brought to what he's doing, is to continue to speak out about it. I don't give a fuck if it is you went live today and you wait 3 more days to express how you feel about the situation. Regardless of the matter, you went through it, and you're gonna get spurts in time where you're able to fully articulate yourself, and at times you're going to feel like you're not going to be able to say anything at all because you're processing and you have to deal with, a lot of stuff that you endured. But it's never too late to open up about the story that you endure in carbonation. I know for me personally, I want to continue to talk about it. I want to continue to bring awareness. I want to continue to get on every social media platform out there to tell other young women that carbonation is not healthy. This shit is not healthy. Like, if you don't want to be subjected to spiritual abuse, physical abuse, potential physical abuse, mental abuse, don't go to carbonation. You know, and it's sad because Nature Boy is taking knowledge, like something that could be so precious and worth having, and turning it into something demonic and abusive.
Yeah, and
Like skin gal.
and that's something I wanna like kind of bring up too. Like
Right.
even even with you just saying people get bullied so bad, like coming out of carbonation, like coming out of that and just trying to grow and share your story or just share a authentic part of yourself with people online. You're starting to get harassed and bullied, made fun of because you went to carbonation or whatever the case may be. I'm here as a witness. I wasn't even at carbonation. I pretended. I pretended that I was in Mexico on my way to carbonation. And do you not know, even still to this day, people would swear up and down, oh, that's a carbonation reject. You was trying to go to carbonation, you stupid, you dumb, I mean, when I tell you I have heard it all, I have heard it all.
Yeah, I've gotten death threats and all kind of stuff.
Right? I can only just imagine half of what you all go through. And like I said, I wasn't even there. I was pretending, trying to to do what I did and put in the work that I did in the background or everybody else did. But it's really weird to me. It's really really weird to me that people find such an obsession with making fun of people who have been through a traumatic experience. And
Misery
Well,
loves company.
hmm?
Misery loves company.
Yeah. Um, it's unfortunate the way some people are handling this due to the fact that it's my real life, and there are like people who are actually like in the streets. You know what I'm saying? Like, fuck social media. Like, there are actual people in the streets who, from this energy, from Nature Boy, from this energy, has manifested in other physical beings, and these entities are trying to come to me to break me in any kind of way that they can mentally, to see me fail because they don't know their own light. They don't have the possession or have the any idea of the potential that they have, which is another message on my behalf that I have for humanity. I want to show people how to tap into their potential, regardless of whatever they're going through in life. Because the number one thing, or one of the number one things that I've learned with Nature Boy is that anything can happen to anyone at any given moment. Anything can happen, right? But the idea after you go through what you go through is to understand the wisdom that had came from that situation and apply that shit to your life, like in all aspects, like in more than one way, and personally, um knowing that factor, like knowing that I have to now apply this wisdom that I know from dealing with this such of type of person, I can see how people let these abusive relationships, traumatic experiences, whatever it is, taint their potential, taint their power, turn them into negative people, turn them into miserable people, turn them into people who are filled with hate. We're not supposed to allow the negative things that we endure take over us so much that we actually become the trauma. It's okay to be wounded. But it's not okay to inflict that wound or that pain onto someone else just because you went through it. There's everybody has certain lessons. Everybody gets certain lessons from the experiences that they go through. But through it all, whatever you go through, you're supposed to endure so that you can build and gain more substance spiritually. We're not looking at, we go through life and we don't look at our situations as things to help us evolve spiritually, evolve our spiritual consciousness. We're looking at things like a mundane, like,
Thank you, Miss T.
oh, she hurt me, he hurt me, so I'm gonna hurt him, and I'm gonna hurt her because she. No, it's way more deeper than that. And I learned that being with Nature Boy. You know, we're not looking at reality how we're actually supposed to be looking at it. We're not dealing with each other how we're actually supposed to be dealing with each other, and we definitely see that in the reflective behavior of humanity in this very situation, and how they're even responding to me going through it. We like to talk about how the black community, how we need to support black queens and we need to support black men and all of this stuff, but we're not really supporting each other. When you look at it on a global spectrum, we're not supporting each other correctly. We're making fun of each other. We're making fun of the traumas, that we're all enduring, that we're all going through. And at some point, humanity as a collective, individually, we're all going to have to take responsibility for how we act, how we respond, and the decisions that we make. So, and it's not it this is not even like I seen somebody say that's nothing new, girl. I've seen it all my life. It's sad. It's like, yeah, it's nothing new, but we have an opportunity to change things. We always like to talk about how we can change things, but none of us, we really, like Nature Boy. He teaches that he wants to change the humanity. He teaches that he want to save humanity, but he's not actually doing it. And that's the saddest part about it, because he's taking something so righteous, that could be so righteous, something that could be so spiritual, and making it into something demonic and abusive and toxic. Shit is sad.
So
He. Mm-hmm.
what else we got? Kiss
Oh,
and
Money.
sticking to our original subject. We
The
yeah.
money.
Oh, also, have you ever received $27,000 from any?
Wait, excuse me. What was that? What
Have you
happened?
ever received $27,000?
Bruh, are you kidding me? If I had $27,000, you know what I would be doing
You
right
already
now?
be in your van.
I would already have a whole bunch of shit if I had $27,000. Hell no, I never received that. I want to, but no, I've never received twenty-seven
who that was
thousand
supposed
dollars.
to come
God
from, Kiss?
damn.
You say what?
Who that was supposed to come from?
I think that the $27,000 came from the crazy little Tanya lady, Labanya lady.
I never received $27,000 in my life.
Okay. What about Nature Boy or Eligio signing a contract with DreamWorks?
I don't know about that. I don't know if he did that. I don't know if he did that for real. He said something to me on one occasion about DreamWorks contacting him, trying to do something, but I don't know if he followed through with it. I don't know if he signed the contract. He never gave me any more details other than that one moment when he mentioned it when they reached out to him. That's the only thing I ever heard about that.
Okay, let me say this real quick. Somebody said, these are silly questions. Yeah, we think so too. We think so too. I mean, it really is.
It's
It's
just crazy because this is setting a lot of shit straight that people
yeah,
wonder, like people wondering these things. It's weird.
There's some
yeah.
that's on here that don't know. We just clearing up the crap that keeps coming up repetitively. Oh, y'all don't know, but they raised 27,000 and she got that and they scamming people. It's so we just trying to clear that up before we like talk. And
Girl,
then
you know what I be doing,
Oh,
girl.
okay. I
is
got
there
another one.
anything else that we're supposed to put on this live? That's waiting or something? Queen vibe.
Who is?
The only other person would be Queen Vibes. That's home. If she's in there, I don't know if she's in the queue.
Should I add somebody?
That's
Queen
a
If,
Vibe.
if you
that's
see,
Queen Vibes.
yeah, that's
yeah.
home. If she's in the queue, I don't know if she joined.
Is it anybody else down in there in the thing waiting in the queue?
Yep.
Oh, Ash said I'm in the queue.
Home, hit your screen. There you go.
I think I got it. Peace, peace,
Hey,
peace,
that's
peace.
right. That's right. She got it. Okay, okay.
What
All
about
right.
Logan?
I got it.
She
And Ash too.
Who is Granny Girl? Who is Granny Girl?
I don't know who
Uh-uh.
that.
It is. Add if you see Class Act Ash and Lurker.
Yeah, Ash and Lurker.
Class Act Ash.
Yeah,
Oh
she said
yeah,
she's in the
I get.
queue. Class Act Ash is in the queue, and I don't think Lurker's in the queue. Let me check my messages.
No, I don't see Lurker.
Yeah, she's not in the queue. But let me mute this.
Hey everybody.
So,
Hey Ash.
Hello, ladies.
hey,
Okay. As far as adding like anybody else, if someone has, I don't know if y'all want to do the questions. That's up to y'all.
Yeah.
I'm
Oh well,
ready. I'm ready for a question.
yeah. I'm still thinking of them off the top of my head because y'all know it's a whole lot.
If
So
you do, I'm sorry, Kissy Pooh. Real quick, if you do have somebody come up here, y'all please don't be disrespectful.
yes, you
Please,
can.
my fingers are hurting. Don't be disrespectful. My fucking fingers are
Yeah, these
hurting.
people are mad disrespectful in this damn in these comments. Like,
Go ahead.
There's a lot of positivity, but there are some getting through that I'm catching you. But
Go ahead and make all
just be respectful.
up here. Go ahead and make all of us admins real quick.
Okay.
Ooh, that mean I get to admin somebody out?
Yeah,
Baby, you know my trigger finger stay itching. You get
Yeah,
cursed out and you'll
don't,
get paid.
don't.
Anyone that's
Just mute
admin that
them.
doesn't know, let
Don't
y'all
kick
know
them
that
out.
right
Just
now.
mute them.
don't block them.
Burn, baby.
Tracy is
Leah,
already an admin.
Leah
Tracy is
Michelle.
already an admin. I just made my dad as an admin. Sky, I made a mistake and get bumped you out, but I made you back an admin.
Y'all stop asking her to be an admin in the comments. She don't know y'all. Stop it. Thank you. Please.
Okay, everybody in the panel I made as admin.
Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. Leah Michelle, I think is her name. Come
Excuse me?
Oh,
Grand.
Grand, your signal is a little messy.
Mine?
we don't.
Grand.
Your signal messing up. He said that's silly questions. I swear I think it's. I mean, we all think it's silly, but these are rumors that we just clearing up. So,
Right.
Pops and Tina, I would like to ask y'all a question.
All right.
What's up?
Have y'all made any money? Have y'all made any money regarding anything carbonation related?
No, but I can tell you what happened.
Okay.
First started, it was called the guerrilla movement. I asked people to help me get over the first time with Velvet. Right, 17 people contributed. How much we made? About $1,200, and we sent it all back because $1,200 it wasn't even enough for one person.
And people, and it wasn't our idea. Somebody said to do a guerrilla movement, so we put it out there, and then they start saying that we were scamming people and it was all about money, just weird stuff. So we
But I have come to learn that a lot of other people is making money off of us.
Mhm.
Like, but as far as us making money, no.
no, we've never been online promoting anything. We don't, you know, no negative. The only thing we ever asked for is our daughter to come back and she home.
Mhm.
Facts.
And
I don't know why people think that we making money off of this shit. This shit's crazy.
because okay, there actually are people who make money off of this veil. Like I know people think that that's crazy. I know people feel like you got to be kidding. Like I know there's somebody making money, but people really are paying their mortgages. They're paying their rent. They're feeding their children. They're putting food in their own mouths. They're keeping their lights on. They're keeping their Wi-Fi bill paid. They're keeping their cell phone bills paid off of carbonation, off
So,
of pain and torturing and suffering. Yes, there's actually people who's making money, girl. I
so
mean,
now I
living,
got a question.
and they got money to support their habits.
Now I got a question.
Okay.
If we was making money like that, what's wrong with that? If everybody else could do it,
Hmm.
Exactly.
Part.
Ain't nothing wrong with it. This my goddamn life.
if only it was true though. I mean, come on, man.
if somebody who's not even going through this can make money, I damn sure can make money. This is my whole goddamn. I done had a child off of this shit,
I know that's right.
Facts.
and I do deserve it because you know what? The whole time that I was in carbonation, whether carbonation like to acknowledge it or not, I was trying to keep that environment pure. My
Hmm.
hardest.
Yeah, this is it.
And when I wasn't able to, I left. Period.
Okay, so it looks like somebody got a question for me.
Somebody please make me an admin because they wilding out in these comments.
Wait, I made everybody admins.
Unless
But
okay, so maybe I'm not doing it right.
Home, don't kick them out. Just mute.
the
No, no,
question
no, no. I know.
hits the veil.
That's facts.
Did
Money
you
is a tool.
know?
Keep your intentions pure. That's what I always do. I just keep my intentions pure. Wherever I go, I don't care what people do to me. I don't care how much they fuck over me. I keep my intentions pure because I know that the energy that you put out into the world is the energy that's gonna come back to you.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, cause I'm trying to catch the questions. Somebody typed in the chat. Hits the veil. Did you not collect money on their behalf? Did you give Veil that $20,000 you collected? I never collected no money. I never collected no money off of this. I never collected $20,000. So I mean, what?
I want to know when you collected
I
$20,000.
want to know too, cause
That's a
I
lot of
collected
money. Yeah.
Okay,
I
baby.
would be in a converted school bus right now.
Lay down.
Y'all already know I would be living my best converted school bus life. Seriously, I have a double decker bus. If I collected
That's
$20,000,
what I'm saying to your mama. Serious.
I mean,
Thank
like
you.
if I collected $20,000, I would have had $16,000 to buy
Girl,
the double decker bus I saw. So
Demi would have had collected
thank
that
you,
type
Miss
of money.
Diamond.
I mean, I'm just trying to figure like what $20,000
Who
do
is
y'all?
Lee Michelle? I'm about to let her into the room.
Yeah, let
Okay,
her keeps asking. I don't know who she is, but we'll see. We shall see. Please be respectful.
Peace and blessings.
Hey,
Can
Lee
y'all
Michelle.
hear me?
Hi.
Leah?
Yes,
Leah?
we hear you. Hello.
Hi, yes, I'm Leah Michelle. I promise I come in peace. Okay. I promise I do. My question is the biggest the biggest bit of confusion that I get from a lot of people, and even myself, honestly, we don't really understand why Nature Boy is not in jail. Why has this not been stopped? It sounds like he's doing horrible things, saying horrible things, participating in horrible things, but he's still out. Is there
Okay.
anything that you can help us
I can
understand
answer
that,
that.
please?
I can answer that.
Mm-hmm.
So, whenever somebody is in the position of being watched by law enforcement, they have to build a case, and you have to be patient when building a case. They might watch you for a year. They might watch you for 6 months. They might watch you for 10 years.
hmm.
If you do a little research on a lot of cult leaders that went down, do the research on how long it took them to infiltrate and get in and get these people in a position where they were able to put them in jail because they sent somebody to commit murder, or they sent somebody to drink the Kool-Aid, but two people got away and say, "Hey, this is what he's planning." Like, it's a process. So you just got to be patient on that. The things he's done is being looked into, but they don't just go and pick you up off the. Thank you, brown skin gal.
Thank you.
Thank you.
They don't just go and pick you up off of something you say or do. Like,
Thank you, brown skin girl.
so just be patient. That's why he not in jail yet. Like,
Okay.
yeah,
May I ask one more
they'll watch
question?
you until and they'll watch you. Let me tell you something. When the FBI move in, when the FBI move in, they know they got their man. Period.
Mhm.
There ain't no if, ands, or buts about it. There ain't gonna be no slip up the wrong color door and all this kind of shit. Nope. They know they got their man and they going to execute who they going to get. So y'all just be patient.
Okay. May I ask one more question?
Yeah.
One more. Okay. Um, the other question is, what can people on the outside looking in do to be proactive about this situation? Now I completely understand that there is a level of ignorance. Apparently all these questions these people are asking you is absolutely ignorant. I don't understand any of that.
No
But
question is ignorant.
I mean, I wouldn't be asking y'all, did y'all get $20,000 for anything? I would
Well,
be asking,
that,
what do
that,
you think that
that's a,
we can do
that's
to
the
help
people that
stop
just got in
this
there.
from occurring? How can we help stop? My issue is, how do you make a nature boy? You know what I'm saying? I'm worried about the rest of it. I don't want this to keep happening to our people. I don't want us to keep producing nature boys. I don't
Well,
want this to be something we're continually having to go through, you know. So anything that I can do to help assist in this process and spread the word about whatever. I've been having panels about it. I've been talking about it. You know, I definitely saw you talking about it the other day. And I completely respect and understand what y'all saying about jail. But in the meantime, what can we do? You know what I'm saying?
that's
What do you
all we can do. We can talk
recommend?
about it. We can educate ourselves. We can learn about these different coasts that's out there. We
Mhm.
can make sure our children know. We can monitor our children online because a lot of them is coming through this online stuff with our kids through these video games and all of this stuff. Like, all
I'd
you
like to
do,
say something when you finish that.
all
Me
right,
too.
all you can do is learn about it, talk about it, and make people aware.
Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah, I agree. The only thing for us to do on a social media standpoint, like platform, because that's how he's reaching people. That's definitely how he reached me and a whole bunch of young other people out there. The only thing is that it's gonna take, if people from Carbonation who went there and left can do what we're doing right now, it would make a very big impact. But because these people have been spiritually traumatized by Nature Boy, they fear him on a certain level. I don't give a fuck about none of that. I'm not afraid of none of that shit. I'm not afraid of no demon. I'm not afraid of no negative energy, because that shit shouldn't be, it shouldn't be. It shouldn't be like that. And I'm not gonna let nobody shut me up. This is my message to the people who left Carbonation, who don't speak up anymore about the abuse that's happening. Yeah, you're out that situation now, but there are still people there that were once like you, still in that situation. And regardless, if you felt some type of way about anybody there, or somebody did you something or whatever, or you feel like it's not your business no more, it still is, because you went there, you see what goes on. It's a duty now to speak up about the shit that happens there, because people are dying now. A baby died, another young woman died, I almost died. You know what I'm saying? Like, multiple people are being seriously injured from this situation. So people from Carbonation, if they could just speak up about it, on like everybody from Carbonation who went and left, they're on social media, they have their platforms, but they're not saying anything about Nature Boy, because They don't want to keep attaching themselves to him. But it's not about attaching yourself to him. It's about bringing awareness to this shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, fuck being attached. Like, I don't care. Like, none of that matters. What matters is the fact that you should speak up about your experience and what you went through. And, a
Right.
lot, and people get a lot, like, don't get me wrong, a lot of people get a lot of backlash from it. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of people don't want to deal with it, but I got a spirit for it. You know what I'm saying? I got the spirit for it. That's why I'm not gonna ever get off a line. That's why I'm not gonna ever stop talking. Now, what I will tell you is that I'm making the necessary precautions that you can't make, that no one
Mhm.
on this panel could necessarily make other than me. Do you understand?
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
those things are being situated and sought out. You
Mhm.
understand? At this
Mhm.
point, we're just gonna keep talking about it until justice is revealed or comes to wherever it needs to come into fruition. Until, you know what I'm saying?
Right. Absolutely, Queen. I completely understand, Goddess.
Someone said,
Absolutely.
Velvet
Absolutely.
in her
What?
lowest self right now. I would like to say something about that.
What?
Somebody said Velvet in her lowest self right now. It's probably a troll from Nature Boy. Nature Boy likes to teach people in carbonation and people outside of carbonation that's potentially gonna come be with him. He likes to teach us that Babylon, like all of you guys, are demons. He likes to teach us that all of you are demons. Our family are demons. No one cares about us. We're in our lower self, meaning that we're not in a righteous state of mind. Like, we're not applying the five sciences to our lives when we're living in Babylon. And he likes to teach us that we need to remove ourselves and isolate ourselves from Babylon to acquire a more divine knowledge of self. Now, what I would like to say on my personal spiritual journey, the way that he's gone about this shit is way too extreme. It's extreme to the point where it's only for his benefit. It's only for him to fulfill his
Personal
agenda. It has nothing to
Yeah.
do with nobody else's spiritual growth but whatever
Right.
he want to do. Now, on a collective spectrum, on a more healthier spectrum, looking at it from a more righteous perspective, everybody, every single one of us, including Nature Boy, have good characteristics, negative characteristics, demonic characteristics, and we all have good characteristics, angelic characteristics, you righteous characteristics about ourselves. We choose which characteristics we want to live out. Do you understand? So when he like to say that we living in our lower self, you're
Thank you,
subjected
Erica.
to living in your lower self mentally by the frequency that you are, the vibration that you are, the character that you are determines if you're in your higher self or your lower self. You can't go to a place, you can't go to a tropical place and think that you in your higher self, because just like you could be a vegan, you could be sick. Just like you could talk about all this spiritual shit and be intellectual, you could be a dummy. You
Ha.
could be intellectually stupid.
Yep.
So you can miss me with the bullshit talking about I'm in my lower self. No, bitch, you're in your lower self because you're being abusive. You're being demonic. Everything, nothing good has come from anybody he's ever touched on his journey from carbonation. Nothing good has ever come from anything. So who's really in their lower self? Everything I'm doing right now, every time I left this nigga, I prospered. I came up. I'm blessed. When I went to go be back with him, everything I had was taken away from me because I traded my energy for some demonic shit. That's what's really going on. This nigga really okay. When somebody constantly saying something to you like you're a stealer, you're negative, you're this, you're that, they're actually that way. So Nature Boy keeps saying that anybody who leaves carbonation is in their lower self. He's really implying that he's in his lower self and you should get the fuck away from him just because of that factor alone. Anybody that's not in a good mind, a good headspace, you shouldn't be intertwining or engaging with because you're gonna get something negative out of it. Like, for instance, all of the women that's over there, they watch me go through things with Nature Boy. If they can't see the outcome, then I don't know how to help them. You understand? But the only thing that I can see is that these women are going to be putting themselves into situations that I put myself in, if not even worse, because the level of care that he has for those women is way much lower than the care that he has for me. He doesn't care about them girls, not even to the inkling. You know what I'm saying? Of enough of you know what I'm saying? Like he don't care about them at all. You know, he dogs them out. He sends them from one man to another. If he don't want to be with them today, he'll ditch them today. If he want to be with them 5 hours from that point where he ditched them, he'll just pick them back up. As a woman, you're supposed to have value. You're supposed to have self-worth, self-esteem. You're supposed to love yourself enough not to let a nigga come in your body and then send you off to another nigga for that nigga to come in your body and then take you back as if that never happened on multiple occasions. You never support, you know what I'm saying? Like Nature Boy never ever let me sleep with another man in carbonation, but he has the audacity to call me a hoe on social media and try to make it seem like I'm fucking every Tom, Dick, and Harry, when in fact he's done fucked everybody who walked through carbonation. I wouldn't be surprised if he have sex with some of the men on occasion. I would not. It would not surprise me because he has sex demons. This
Winnie the
nigga is a
Pooh to pull his
sexual.
bottom.
What you said?
I say he do. Winnie the Pooh his bottom.
You know, a part of the healing journey, I believe, for everybody who went to carbonation and a part of the healing journey is to speak up about this. It is to, that's the healing process, is to speak up about it. Because a lot of people watch me go through shit. Like when I went through that July 4th, and all those people who was in carbonation watched me get beat to the ground and nobody helped me in that moment. Nobody said nothing. Nobody's still talking out about that day on social media. I know that they're either afraid or they really don't have no good intent. Because if you had watched me on July 4th, you would be just like me on this panel speaking up about this shit. Because that was some real fuck shit that went on. Sybil only talked about it a little bit. Do you think that she's still on social media talking about the awareness of carbonation? No, she's selling motherfucking astrological fragrances. You understand what I'm saying? Miss me with all of that bullshit. All of that, that's all bullshit. And I don't give a fuck who hear me, I don't care. That's all bullshit. She's not talking about nothing that has to do with about getting out of a cult. You know, if she really was on that kick, then she would be on that kick. And that's
Well,
on
it,
period.
Number seven. Hold on, wait. Before we go off again, number seven. I had something to add to what you said. Also, the question that you asked, how do we not create more nature boys? Talk to your children. Have open conversations with them. Um, Make them feel comfortable enough to come to you and share their thoughts about whatever it may be, about their sexuality, about their religion, about their experiences. Talk to them. Don't judge them because then they will run to the hands of somebody like Nature Boy makes them feel like whatever you say to me is okay. I'm going to nurture everything that you tell me, even if it's wrong. I'm going to nurture you in those moments because I want you to feel secure around me when these thoughts that you are normally having or these conversations that you normally have with others, they're judging you for it. So that's my only thing as far as not creating any more nature boys. Make sure you have a open line of communication with your children.
You see,
I'll add this.
I yeah, go ahead, Dad. I want to add on to
I'll
that too.
add this. Our men have to step up to the plate. Our men have to step up to the plate. Stop all this fuck shit out there and be men. That's what we have to do as men.
We working on it 1982.
Take care of our own.
Hmm.
You want to know?
We listen, Val.
I wanted to add on to what you were saying about teaching your children. And then somebody said you can't really teach a child who think they grown, right? Which that is a very true statement. You know, there's a lot of kids out here who feel like they know it all, who feel like they know more than their parents. And I at one point felt like that. And I went against my parents on an occasion, not realizing that they have more information and wisdom that I needed to apply to myself because of this arrogance, thinking that I know more than them, which I'm here to share with my generation that you might know some things intuitively because you were born in the age of information, and we have access to all this information, and it's a world transition right now into a more healthier way of life, into a more simpler way of life. And that's what the children of this age naturally want to do. That's why we rebel against the society so much. But I want us as young individuals to really slow down in this day and age and listen to the people who are around us that are much older than us, who went through certain things. Because yeah, they might not know about how to live in nature completely, but what they do know is the 5 year experience with a narcissist before you even went through it. You understand? And that's the wisdom that we have to realize that we can take from our elders and apply to our life, right? On the same contrast to that, you have to get your children while they're young. You can't wait until they after 7 years old trying to teach them about religion, trying to teach them about their spirituality, trying to teach them. You have to start when they're young, because children are absorbers. Up until they from the time they was born up until they 7, that's when they learn all of their behavioral patterns, all of they all of the shit that they gonna be having as habits. Is from ages from newborn infancy to 7. We got to tell our children, we got to teach them some type of way. And there's a lot of controversy with older people who are more seasoned people who believe that some things a child isn't supposed to know. But in a day and age like this, we're not in the same time of day and age. Like, you have to tell your child a little bit more now than what you could have or that you would have had to tell them 20 years ago, 10 years ago. It's a different age, and there's different things out here that children need to know because they're getting themselves into a whole heap of shit, that is toxic, you know and most of the time, what I realized from having a whole bunch of friends that's the same age as me, meeting all of those people in carbonation, there's not a lot of older people who's on the kick of trying to guide the generation that's coming up right now, because they're so stuck in the world. They're so stuck in making a bag. They're so stuck in figuring themselves out and finding themselves and neglecting their children because they want to enjoy themselves because they were single mothers since 16. They got 4 or 5 children since they were 20. So, there's other patterns, which brings me to my next point that somebody said in the line. They said that the reason why Nature Boy is the way that he is because his childhood. Now, if at any point a child does not listen to their parent or follow the wisdom that somebody is readily giving them, as an individual, we need to not allow our traumatic experience taint us to be negative people, taint us to be toxic people. We shouldn't be allowing ourselves to turn into that. We have a choice. You have a choice who you want to be, whether you have guidance or not. That's just as simple as it gets. And if you choose to be negative, then you're going to get negative experiences, attract negative people to you. You're going to always experience negative shit. But if not, then you're going to see a totally opposite reality.
I want to say one thing. Something similar to it's kind of piggybacking off of Seven. So a lot of people in the comments and other things that I read online, a lot of people always say, to stop him is to stop talking about him. So I'm just curious, like, is that something that would be helpful if people stop talking about him, or people need to talk about him so that way they are educated about who he really is, the demon?
I think that we should keep talking about him so that everybody can be really educated about who he is. Because from personal experience, when I first went to carbonation, because nobody was really talking about him. Like I seen troll videos of people saying that he was toxic and stuff, but it wasn't enough information for me to be like, oh, like nah, he really is. Like if we continue to speak out about him and bring awareness to him, then there's gonna be more likely people are gonna figure out, without their own research about who he is. That's the downfall with a lot of people who go to carbonation. Their downfall is that they don't study him, before they go. They listen to what he say, they listen to all of the videos that he have of knowledge, but they don't look up none of his background. They don't look up where he came from. They don't look up how he was raised. They don't listen to none of that. And when they get in his presence, even if they are told or see these characteristics, they refrain from acknowledging it and being in denial about his actions because they are under the impression that he's the Messiah, and they believe in him and they believe in his way of life. And at that point it's just a mind control. So if I talk about, especially somebody who went to carbonation and was there for a good bit amount of time and left, if we continue to speak out about it, it'll let other children, that's our age, because let it be known, it's children. It's children over there. That's not grown people. That's not what grown-ups do. You know what I'm saying? It's children out there.
Yeah.
So if we keep speaking up, it's gonna be people all over the world, children all over the world, who's gonna hit these videos just like they hit the video of me when I was with him, taking up for him, supporting him, and they were inspired by me. They'll be inspired by the other in or the other spectrum of my story by doing this type of stuff, I believe.
And
Yeah.
this is, oh, I'm sorry, pause real quick. And this is why he focuses on young people, teenagers, 17, 18, 19. Like you said, there are no adults over there. He's the only adult. So he has that capability to manipulate the younger people that have not experienced life as of yet, to mold them into what he wants them to be, because he's a demon. So yeah,
Yeah,
I get it.
demons do that. Demons will try to change you into someone you're not. And if you allow them to change you into someone you're not, then you're going to be their slave and not and their servant. And that's what they all are in carbonation.
Yes,
Servants.
yes, and
It's
it's,
like it's
it's
like the
crazy.
adults that, excuse me for one moment, but the
Yeah.
adults that are over there, they're not they're not adults who really even been through anything in life. Aya was a prostitute. Like we can get into the details, but it's not no adults that have any or had anything going for themselves. You know what I'm saying? Well, it's not no. You know what I'm saying? Like
Nah, I get it. I get what you're saying. I mean, she's talked about her experience of, in her, I know she's older, but she had talked about her experience in life. But in general, on average, even off this app, he focuses on young women and young men to come over there. And like you said, to be their servants, for to be his servant.
it's sad.
He's a demon.
It's sad. But if we keep, well, I know I'm gonna keep talking out about it. I don't care who talks out about it with me. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna do what I have to do. Cause,
Yeah.
hmm,
Can you add Yolanda C? She keeps saying that he tried to recruit her 17-year-old. I wanted to see.
Do you have any other questions, Leah? If
Hey
not,
guys.
numbers. Hold on. Before we continue, number 7. Do you have anything else to add to the conversation, or was those all your questions?
If I may, I'll ask one more and then I will totally hop down out this box. My last question is, in my personal opinion, I'm not speaking on anyone else, but in my personal opinion, I don't see where very many melanated men are very concerned about this situation as I would think that they should be or would be.
Yeah,
Do
it's your
you
boy
observe that same thing, or do
on
you think that
17
is a
shots.
misconception on my
That's
behalf?
crazy. But I'll see you in a minute.
you
Could
want
y'all
me to
hear?
answer that or Kiss? You gonna answer that?
Y'all want me
If you
to?
don't mind, I would like for you to answer that, and as well, Kiss, if you like. But I definitely want to hear, from especially because I want to hear from both of y'all,
I
basically.
can answer that for you.
Okay, but I'm not trying to be rude, but I really want the female's perspective because I want to know if females are feeling that these melanated men are not paying as much attention to this issue or feeling the severity of this issue. Of course, I want to hear from everybody, but I really do want to hear the feminine perspective if they feel like that because I could be wrong in that observation.
Mm. Go ahead, Kiss. You go first, cause I got a mouthful.
Um, I feel like me personally, I feel like there are some melanated men who do it, but not a lot of people who's going to speak out about it simply because they see what nature is doing and they agree. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? They agree. They alchemize his energy in their own home.
Mhm.
They prey on young girls just like he prey on young girls. And it's a
Mhm.
lot of men, y'all would be surprised. It's a lot of men that follow Nature Boy secretly. Like they follow him secretly. They listen to his teachings. They, agree with everything that he says, and then they apply that into their own homes, in
Yep.
their own
Yep.
neighborhood. So it's a lot of women who don't know about Nature Boy, but because they don't know about Nature Boy, they don't know that this man in their life is using the same tactics that Nature Boy used on these women in his cult. So I feel like that's probably why we don't see a whole like more melanated men speaking out against it because they look at what Nature Boy doing and they want to do that. It's a lot of niggas don't want to work. It's a lot of them sitting
Right.
there. They want their women to go out and work. They want their women to come home and serve them. They want their women to, just be 100% submissive to them. So they're using the nature boy energy, and also it's a black man doing it. So they feel like, hey, it's a black man doing it. I can do it too. You feel me? But that's my perspective on
So I agree. That was partial, a part of what I wanted to say. Uh, I'm sorry, I'm having so many thoughts right now. This shit is crazy.
But
Um,
I'm gonna tell you how I first I met Nature Boy.
it. Hold on, hold on. Who's that? Who's that?
Yolanda.
Wait,
Yolanda.
Yolanda. Wait,
hold on,
Yolanda.
I need
Let her
question.
finish. Let her finish first, Yolanda. Hold on.
Let her
Um
finish her statement.
Because I
uh
did hear Yolanda's story, so just let
yeah.
them finish first, Yolanda.
Okay.
So there's a global uproar. I don't really think none of us are really attuned to what's going on humanitarily, like as a collective spectrum, like over the globe. Because I dealt with Nature Boy, it has forced me to look at things from a more global perspective. So what
Mhm.
I've realized on my journey with him, and then like keep going back and forth from him, and being able to, uh, like still have kind of like access to other men as well to see different sides of men. I've realized that because Nature Boy is online with these characteristics, to piggyback off of what Kiss said, these men literally are watching him secretively and implementing those tactics that he used in their homes, doing it to their women. Now, on the outside part of men um doing that without watching Nature Boy, there are men who believe in certain things like polygamy and certain things like that based off of certain scriptures and religious beliefs. And these men really believe that men are supposed to be in power. Women ain't shit according to because they're the absolute ones who women need to create life and all this extra shit. So regardless of other men, that's like regardless if somebody watching Nature Boy or not, globally men have a ego complex that they're dealing with, that they can't get over because it's hard for them to come to terms that women are really great, and they don't want to give us the recognition that we need to build a better society. Because if somebody was to put a woman in office right now as a president, senator, whatever, this will be a whole different society. Because what women are not going to do, if you put a group of men on piece of land and put a group of men on one piece of land, who's gonna survive? The women are gonna survive. The men are gonna kill each other out, and the women are gonna survive. You want to know why? Because we are more solution based, intuitively, to finding problems to the things that we go through. We're not gonna fight each other like war on into bloodshed. We might fight as a woman for territory and for goods and stuff like that, but we not about to go to war with each other and cutting each other necks because we want your piece of land. Like, nah, we gonna make sure that everybody have an equal fair share.
Mm-hmm.
And men don't want to recognize and give us the acknowledgement that we need. So they gotta suppress us. This not only is happening with Nature Boy, this has been happening for millenniums on end. Men taking over the power and not giving women power because they feel incompetent and inferior when we start really making our magic happen. They don't want to see the magic because they feel inferior to the magic, when in fact men should realize that you shouldn't feel intimidated by your woman. You should be one with your woman and be with her and rise with her. It's about building with her, not trying to build before her and then try to make it seem like you did everything and take all the responsibility for everything and then have her looking like she ain't worth nothing. She don't have no value. Women have much more value than what we realize that we do, but because
Right.
society has taken our power away, niggas think that they could just do whatever. But guess what? It's the times are changing.
Yeah, that's
Thank
good to
you so,
add.
so much. Thank you so, so much for your answers. I will hop down. I really appreciate the communication. Peace and blessings to you all.
Bye.
Yes.
Hey, Belle, can you check the queue and see if I didn't see her say nothing, but just in case, can you check the queue and see if the T is there?
Let me see. The T?
Yeah, the T.
I don't see the T.
Okay, she didn't request. No, she said she's not in the queue.
Okay, okay.
Can you add beard game real quick? Beard
Beer
game, you gotta
game?
get in you gotta get in the queue. Beard game.
I don't see that. All right, Yolanda, let's hear your story. Dad, did you want to say anything else?
I'm good right now.
Okay, so what I was saying was, I first came across Nature Boy because when my daughter was 17, he was inboxing her on Instagram. He was sending her pictures to expose himself. He also wanted her to send him pictures. Basically, he was grooming her for sex. At 17, she was a virgin, and he knew she was a virgin. So he was preparing her and telling her, this is what you need to do. This is how you need to do it in order. See, the whole plan was when she turned 18 that she was going to be gone over there with him. But I found out because one of my friends seen her on his live, on his Instagram live, and it went made me go crazy because I was like, you know better. Like, she doesn't come from her broken home, none of that. But we end up getting her out of it. Thank God it took her 2 months to get this man out of her brain, but she did. Now she's 20 years old, and I thank God every single day that she did not get caught up, because if she had if that though one of those would have been my daughters, I'd have drove their ass all the way back to South Carolina with me. No ass, no if, no buts about it.
Well, I know that to speak on your behalf, I know that personally, Nature
Mhm.
Boy tries to recruit all kinds of beautiful women,
Mhm.
whoever, whatever woman he can recruit to use as a now this is for all the ladies out there who are turned into or turned on to Nature Boy, watch him, see him or whatever, or tries to be his wife. This is a message for everybody. All of those women. The only reason why Nature Boy wants to be with you or tries to even be with you is obviously to only have sex with you, but to
Right.
also try to use you as a pawn to make me mad, to make me jealous, because he has some weird ass way about trying to, try to reel me back in.
He's obsessed with
So
you.
yeah, so don't let it fool you, because you're not gonna be loved. You're not gonna be taken care of. You're not gonna be held to the empress status that you
Right.
deserve to be. You're gonna be used as a pawn, and that's it. Zoka was a pawn to make me mad. Star was
Mm-hmm.
a pawn to make me mad. Naturi was a pawn to make me mad. Malia, Aya, Ephru, all of those women. It's
Mm-hmm.
not nothing healthy that he's doing over there that's gonna make you feel more of a woman than what you feel when you're by yourself. If anything,
Right.
you're gonna feel less of a woman. And one day, all the women out there who are out there, um, I've noticed that they have very low self-esteem. When a woman has very low self-esteem, she doesn't realize and she doesn't understand certain things that happen to her because it is low self-esteem. And so,
Right.
because I had so much I've always been really confident. So because I kept my confidence when I was there, I knew that this wasn't the way that I wanted to be treated. Some women don't know, other ways to be treated. No,
Mm-hmm.
I've never been treated right by a man before, but I know that I don't want to be treated like that. You know what I'm saying? And that's just the bottom line.
Yeah. It's crazy. But his time is coming. His time is coming. It's only a matter of time before the shit hit the fan on him.
And it's I just want to say, add on to what I was just saying for the women out there in carbonation. um the number one thing that Nature Boy tries to say is that he needs his queen, and he
Yep.
needs a real woman to step
That's
in
what he
that
said.
position, and all of this extra stuff. Well, if I wasn't fit if I wasn't fit for that status, what makes you think that any other woman that's gonna come along is gonna be able to be fit for that status? Nature Boy will never find a queen. He will never find someone to
What's going
be.
on?
I don't know what that noise is.
I don't know.
I think
Mm-mm.
Is that number 8?
it may be. You have to mute it for a second.
Oh yeah, mute her or drop her out and then let her come back.
Hello?
Okay, yeah, I hear you now. It's
Yeah, you good. You good.
What the hell just happened?
It wasn't me, guys, because I turned my volume off so I can hear who it was.
No, like I was saying, Nature Boy has no good internet.
wild though. I don't know because
I
every
don't
time
know
you
why there's an echo.
Pops mute. It's coming from Pops. I don't
This
know if they
hurt.
got
That hurt. No more. All gone.
the other phone on.
No, it's not me.
Okay, it's good now. I think.
somebody said somebody record.
Yeah, somebody may be recording it.
Well, Nature Boy doesn't really want to be with a woman.
Wait,
I think he really wants to be with a transsexual.
He do.
But at
that,
the
He,
end of the day, when you know something is not healthy, when a man is with you and he keeps saying, "You're a little girl to me. You're a little girl to me." Well, if you feel like those women are little girls, wouldn't that make you a pedophile?
exactly.
Because they're little girls and you view them as little girls, but you just want to have sex with them?
Yeah, I've been said that Nature Boy hates women. He only likes women that dress up like women. Other than that, he does not like you.
Nah.
And
Nah.
you can honestly tell it.
Yeah.
He don't want a woman. He wants a man.
Wait, baby. Okay. Morty, you'll come get Ellie for me right quick.
Thank y'all for the beans. I didn't even know I had
I
anything.
appreciate all the
Thank
supporters
y'all.
that's in the room.
thank
I really
you.
appreciate you guys. Thank you
Yeah,
for coming in and showing love.
Well,
if
Vale, let me tell you how proud I am of you. Um, I you didn't hear me say this before because I didn't inbox it to you, but I am extremely proud of you, girly. A lot of people think you were not going to make it,
Girl, thank you.
but you
thank
did it, and you keep being strong. You keep being beautiful, and you keep being a great mom, and you can conquer anything in this world. That van that you want, that you gotta fix up, it's coming, baby. Keep manifesting it.
Yeah.
It's coming. And like I said, I don't know. The universe sent you in order to help other young women that are going through similar things to this.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
you keep your power, you keep, like I always say, positive. And I know sometimes it's hard to stay positive at times with so much going on. But you always have to tell yourself, I can do it. I can do it. I can do it. I'm doing it for this. Because as a mama, days get hard for me. It's hard being a parent. But at the end of the day, I know what I got to do for my kids. And I want you to feel the same way. Don't let anybody break you, bend you, call you out of character or anything. You hold your head up because you're beautiful. And not only that, you are a queen that took half of Nature Boy supporters when you left him. So that speaks volumes about you.
Yeah.
So keep it up, baby. Keep up the good work. I'm
I
proud of
appreciate
you.
that. I really do appreciate that because I get a lot of negative stuff said about me to the point where in my real life I have to watch who I'm becoming friends with. I have to watch who come
Hmm.
into my life because people really is
They'll
is
use you.
a whole world. It's a whole world.
Yeah, they'll use you. That's why I say you can't trust anybody. Everybody's not gonna be your friend. The devil will sneak somebody in just to try to destroy you. So just stay strong. And Ellie, that baby's so powerful too. She's gonna always protect you no matter what.
I believe that.
I mean, I'm serious.
I
She's gonna
believe it.
protect you from in and everybody,
I
because
believe it.
it's an aura around her,
Yeah.
and you can see it.
Yeah.
That baby is very powerful, and I don't.
Why are you looking like that, kids?
I can't with Kiss, yo.
What I do, kiss?
Kiss, I ain't messing with you.
Her eyes was looking so serious.
No,
She
because
was
it's
like,
like no, I got some other stuff going on.
Thank you, Queen Scorpio.
I just got some other stuff going on in my brain, in my mind right
thanks,
now.
Queen Scorpio.
Kind of
Well, come
throwing.
on with me. What you got?
Yes, talk about it.
Speak it,
Nothing.
ma'am.
I just feel like I've heard Yolanda's voice a few times.
She was on. I heard her on O'Neill's panel. I think yeah, it was O'Neill's panel
Mm-hmm.
that I heard her story on. That's what
But
I heard it from.
Instagram,
But some other places.
Who
Where?
is
I
Please
already
who
knew
tell
is
that
me.
Beer
day.
Gang?
I
Who
already
is
knew it.
Beer Gang?
Somebody said that's Grand Grand said add them. I don't know who that is. Grand
Can
Grand
y'all
said
add Beer Gang?
Is it MDK?
Yes, that's him.
MKG?
You got to get in the queue though.
somebody said kids don't like anyone. Yes, I do. Oh my God. Oh, I do like people.
Uh,
I want to say something real quick. Hold on, Bear Gang. I'm sorry. So real quick, Velvet. Um, honor to God. I don't know if she's in the queue. She was. I'm gonna say it this way. The other day, she was a carbonation supporter. Nature Boy cursed her out, disrespected her, so she's allegedly not a supporter anymore because she started seeing his
Thank you,
manipulation
Lord.
tactics. So I don't know. I'm just letting you know ahead of time. I don't know if you want to talk to her, in the queue. If she's in the queue, if you want to
Sure.
talk to her. So I'm just
Sure.
letting you know who she is after you're done with this. So
Wait, what's
don't
her
thought
name?
it's honor to God.
Simply me.
Oh shit.
So yeah, if you want to talk honor, get in the queue and you'll just be next.
Hello.
So why hasn't
Yolanda,
she changed her name though?
I'll bring her in the queue, but I'm trying to see what's really good with her energy. Cause last time I noticed,
mm,
she was riding his dick hard as the hard.
So why
okay.
hasn't she? Why hasn't Anna changed her
Wait,
name
hold
then?
on. Wait,
If
wait,
she's a
wait,
part of her.
wait, hold on. Yolanda, are you done with your questions and your comments?
Yeah, I'm done, but I'm done, but I want to get back to kids because I seen somebody in the comments said that I've been in Nature Boy live defending him, which is a lie.
No. Well, I'm not getting that from you at
Don't
all.
worry.
And
Don't
kiss,
worry
me and
about the
you were even on
negativity.
IG together talking. we conversated before on IG.
See, that's literally what I just said. I didn't say nothing.
Yeah,
I said your voice
yeah,
sounds very familiar
Ah,
to me.
it do
And
sound
somebody
familiar now.
from
yeah.
Odin Channel, I said no. From somewhere else, I wasn't gonna get into that.
Yeah, we conversate because I mean I follow your lead. Like I always ask you like what should we do? You know, we
Let's let her
inbox,
in.
we
Let's let her
talk.
in. Let's let her
Okay,
in the panel. I don't mind letting anybody in the panel that
as
has
long as
come
you
from
be respectful.
carbonation. But
Yeah, I never dealt
as
with
long as they
carbonation.
don't disrespect me,
Right.
like I always stood my ground in carbonation. As long as they don't disrespect me, I'ma be cordial. But if any type of disrespect start coming on because they feel like they agree with him and all this extra shit, then they could go be with him and live in that fucked up ass reality. You feel me? Because that ain't got
Okay.
nothing to do with me at the end of the day. But if it get disrespectful, I'ma just exit it. Period. You
Okay.
know what I'm
Right.
Okay.
saying? But I don't mind letting anybody on the panel that has come from carbonation and want to
Okay.
talk.
All right.
I has never been carbonation.
Okay. All right, Yolanda. You and Kiss worked out on IG. Thank you, Yolanda.
Yeah, nobody is accusing you of that.
Yeah, don't
Nothing.
worry about the negative.
Thank you,
Yeah,
thank
we
you,
we
thank you.
focus on positive.
Thank you for coming up. Thank
But
Thank
I will
you,
show
Yolanda.
myself kids on Instagram to you. And
Yeah.
also, because Tracy, you seen my real pictures.
The voice is coming back to me, but that's another.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah. Thank you so much for
Thank
sharing.
you.
You.
Yes, I just want to speak highly on the ladies that's speaking out, especially the person that's been dealing with him the most. I really appreciate y'all because you are definitely right. A lot of people is not speaking up that dealt with his shenanigans. So
Can you
uh,
drop number 8 so she can bring the
sometimes
somebody else?
sometimes
Yeah, you can
people
drop me. That's fine.
sometimes people don't have the strength or have to build up the strength, and you have to find a higher power as God, and He will help you through this in a worldly a seemingly worldly earth right now, and it's based on negative, and it's hard for people to try to stay positive because all they see is negative. So when we in here speaking on positive and letting everybody informing them, such as the young generation, because they are naive. What they see is entertainment. It might be fun, but not realizing this is real, and it can really affect you. So I just wanted to really thank you for doing your door deals because it's hard. It's hard. You get negativity all day, and at the end of the day, you know your flesh consumes you. But if you more in tune with your spirit and you pray every day, you can fight an evil fight because you're God. You're God's people. You're here to fight a good fight. Uh, I don't know what he talking about Babylon. Earth is Babylon, and God wants you to save His people. You don't use God evil use God words to do his own evil deeds, and he people use good words and good things that everybody love like nature and eating right and everything to get you in a trap, a rat, a cheese, and a mouse trap, and you hooked. So people need to understand that you need to get in touch with your spirit. How you find out you get in touch with your spirit? Talk to the higher power. You don't know who he is, but he's up there. If you ask him, he will. You
You
don't
wanna know?
really. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I wanna I add on to what you were saying. Ever since I was a little girl, I intuitively prayed, like all the time, which has set really good things up for me in my childhood. Uh, when I felt unsupported and things like that, it really allowed me, because of my faith, it allowed me to see the magic in life. So now that I'm dealing with Nature Boy, that faith that I had, I disregarded and
That's
and
more
and didn't
love.
hold on to because of the mind games that he was playing. But when I realized that he was trying to put himself in the position of the Almighty, in the position of the Most High, in the support of the, or in the essence of the supreme being that sustains everything that we experience right now. When I realized he was trying to replace himself, you know, in the shoes of that energy, I realized that I was in the wrong place. I was doing the wrong thing because I can't pray to him and ask him to do something for me that I need him to do.
That was your
And that's
spirit.
when I realized
Oh,
that I needed to go back to my ways because my ways was more righteous than his ways. So when I started praying in his actual reality, I always repelled. I always started magnetically drawing to me the answers that God needed me to know to get to where
Thank
the
you.
point that I needed to be right now to even speak about these things that I have. And I always said all the time online,
thank
I
you,
never
Jesus.
want to get online and just start talking out the side of my neck. I'm always moved by God when I get on a live and I start talking because that the number one thing I hated with
Thank you,
Nature
Lord.
Boy
Thank you, Lord.
was that no matter if I was in the mood or
Thank
not,
you. Thank
he
you,
always
Lord.
used to shove the camera in my face and force me to express myself when
Thank
it
you, Lord.
doesn't work like that. God moves through you, the word moves through you. You just have to be an open vessel and readily available to express the message that's coming through you when you're so in touch with your own faith and the essence of God.
Thank
And
you,
I
Lord.
don't know if people believe that, but that has nothing to do with me. But I understand what you just said, Bear Gang,
Thank you, Lord.
because I live it. I
Yes.
lived that. I lived that. You know what I'm saying? When
Yes.
I was young, I lived that. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? Now as a young adult and I'm becoming more wiser, that has always been there for me.
Yes.
And that aspect, the faith aspect alone and God working things out in my life has always came through for me. Nothing else,
Yes.
not a person has come through for me. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying like
He will
on
show
some
you.
real
He
cosmic
will show you.
spiritual shit, I get it.
He will show you. Um, I didn't. My grandma. We always went to church, but I didn't know what it was. So um, I was happy that somebody always prayed over me as a child. So everybody should pray over their children and ask God for their protection because you are doing your part as a parent, but God can really protect your child if you pray over him because everybody's doing their own thing trying to make sure they are okay in these situations. So I really want to tell everybody pray, get back into praying and speaking good and highly of your children and how you want them how they need to be guided. Two, um, thank you, Lord. What needs to be done is if oh Lord,
Yeah, it's
um,
me.
um, what needs to be done is if you see it, call it out. Bullshit.
Yep.
That's it. Don't 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 just linger around or observe. Call it out right there and there. That's bullshit. Um, let people know. Me, what I do is I record. If anybody want the knowledge, or my group, my church, uh, our congregation, my homie, we call out the bullshit, and that nigga is bullshit. But it's up to people to see it. It's just not YouTube. Oh, it's just a recording. No, people say what they really mean, and what he says is what he really means. So don't don't nah, he just saying what just to get the views. No, what he say is what he really means. So don't get there and think that he's gonna treat you different, any different, or he's gonna act any different. He treats all of them the same. And when you watching people and they don't look healthy or they look sickly or something is not well, that's a continuation. Ain't nothing gonna change. Ain't nothing good gonna come to that. Um, I'm just so in the spirit right now, but I
I feel
appreciate
you.
y'all.
I
Just
feel you.
keep on doing it. Um, don't stop. I know it get hard, but I will be praying for you. I like you if you pray for me too, cause
I
we are a
pray every
team.
day for all my supporters. You have no
Who you
idea.
telling? Who you telling? But just keep on doing it. I appreciate y'all. Y'all have a good night.
Thank you. Thank you for
Thank
sharing.
you.
Now,
Peace, Velvet. I want to say that I am proud of you, for staying strong and everything. And I'm really thankful for this live. I did inbox you as well from like one of my other pages on Instagram. So, check after this. But
thanks.
I want to talk like, okay, I haven't the reason, okay, my other page is blocked right now for 24 hours, but I haven't changed my name because as you can see, I was like, into the knowledge like every day, all day, like a couple weeks ago or whatever.
Yeah.
And I built like, kind of like a connection with certain women that follow him. And, with me realizing, with the manipulation and the disrespect and just honing in on that, I feel kind of like I keep the name right now. I'm changing it though, anyways, but I have the name right now because I'm bringing awareness to those other women that was like, following me, following him too, like listening to me talk about the knowledge. And I just realized, if y'all haven't seen, I did say that I didn't want to speak out about him anymore, but on my page, I said that I'm not gonna talk about like his name because I don't want to give my power to him. But you okay? You okay, girl? You gonna make me cry?
I'm listening to you.
Grab a teammate, please.
I'm a crybaby. So
Where is it?
you probably haven't seen it, but I've been speaking out a little bit for the past couple days about the manipulation and using this knowledge because this is something that really helped change my life, and I know a lot of people are coming into this awareness, and it just I care about humanity so much that it just hurts me, and I don't want to like. I just think that he's using knowledge in order to um get souls for his own personal weird ass agenda,
Right.
and I care about humanity too much to not like say stuff about it. So I've been speaking out. I've been talking about the use of words, how he's trying to manipulate people to use certain words to think that he's this and he's that, and knowing that you are your higher self. Like nobody else can be your higher self. You are your higher self. And I spoke out about that. I said I didn't want to speak on him anymore and his personal shit anymore because I don't want to give my energy, my power to that. All I want to do is just help other people. Um, but listening to you, I understand that like I can't like I still like of course I still don't want to do that, but I do want to be able to make sure that I don't want to feel guilty, feel like other people are, I'm helping other people go there, anything like that. So I'm speaking out against it. That's what I'm doing. And that's why I had to
Just
change
know
the
that,
name.
like, I'm emotional right now because I was in your presence, you know, and in carbonation.
Mhm.
Take your time, Velvet.
I don't know if Honor, you remember my disposition, like with a lot of things that happened while you was there, when we was there together. But like the number one thing that I always used to tell Nature Boy was that I didn't want the other women to go through what I was going through with him. I didn't want y'all to go through him not caring about you. I know how that shit feel. You, I really was inspired by you, Honor, and Carbonation because you didn't allow him. You didn't. What I noticed about Honor was that she didn't allow him to like infiltrate her. Like her mind.
Mhm.
She was really strong. Like even though she went to Carbonation, even though she was next to Nature Boy, everything like that, whatever, she knew that it wasn't right. And intuitively, she was doing things to get herself out. The only fucked up thing about it is that because we care about humanity so much, we
Hmm.
start feeling guilty sometimes for turning our back on the knowledge.
Right.
But it has nothing to do with us proclaiming a kingdom. It
Hmm.
has everything to do with us living the lifestyle. When you are talking about something, you have to live it. Nature Boy is not even living what he's talking about at all. At all. The only thing that he's living that he talks about is that weak ass environment in the tropics where motherfuckers ain't eating enough. That's the only thing he has to show for anything that he's ever did online is that bum ass background. He don't have no substance spiritually or physically.
Yeah.
And when I watched Honor there, it made me realize that like we just giving our bodies to him like we need to. And when Honor
Hmm.
didn't give her body to him, do you know how angry he was about that? At one point, I and not to put your personal business out there, but I know that your body even rejected him on an occasion. That's strength. You know what I'm saying? Like to have even come to the understanding that you're at is good for me, is healing for me, because I've said and supported him a lot. I've took up for him a lot, and I know that women are going and know about him because of me. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? They watch me online, and I never meant to lead anybody in the wrong direction or into some fuck shit, like, because that's not the type of person that I am. If anything, I was trying to get him to a point where he could be healthy enough for everybody in the environment, but it won't ever go that way because he's just subjected himself to his own toxic traits.
Right.
He wants to teach us and tell us that we can't live the lifestyle that he is providing for everybody in carbonation. Honey, we could live that lifestyle and better.
Exactly.
We like
Exactly.
it there, all of the knowledge, the five sciences he teach, like, yeah, he could have sat there and put those five sciences together on some common sense type of shit, whatever. But he's not giving us the details about that knowledge. He's only giving us certain things about that knowledge. There's
Right.
been information that has came to me that Nature Boy was supposed to teach us about if he wants us to teach humanity, but he never
Mm.
taught us. You know why? Because he doesn't even know himself. He
Right.
doesn't know the true essence of being on a spiritual journey. He's just saying,
Right.
he's a stupid, intelligent person. One of the most intelligent, stupid motherfuckers I ever met in my
Yep.
life.
Yep.
Like, in my life.
And he needs to take his own advice, sit down, reflect on yourself. Like it's not everybody else's fault. It's you. Like you got to look at yourself and figure out what you're doing wrong. Like everybody's not just turning on you and all this other weird stuff. It's just like it's you. So
It's it's crazy because you know how he says, not to point the finger, and everybody in your environment is a reflection of you.
yeah.
Well, I agree with you. He needs to take his own advice and look at the reality that he's created, and honestly ask himself, is that toxic or healthy? 9 times out of 10, because he likes to fucking think about things in his own way. He will try to make it to be healthy when it's really not. And that's the demonic, narcissist, delusional part about him that we need to talk about. I'm gonna talk about it, period. I'm gonna talk about that shit, period.
Right.
Because the
Exactly.
situation that Malia is in could have been avoided. The
Yeah.
situation Zoka was in could have been avoided. The shit that all of us is in could have been avoided.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying that people are going to see my perspective or anything like that, or I'm not trying to like proactively literally, like force people to change. But if
Mhm.
my voice makes a difference to souls out there, to let them know, like, I went through this shit
Mhm.
personally for 3 years, had a baby with him. This shit ain't gonna end well for you. If it didn't end well for me, what makes you think that it's gonna end well? It's gonna be worse for you because he actually don't care. This man
Mhm.
has literally said online that he cared about me, then double back and said that he never gave a fuck about me. All he wanted to do is have sex with me. As beautiful as I am, as
That
talented
weird
as I
shit.
am, as supportive as I am, as awesome and beautiful as I am.
Mhm.
You understand? There's not no woman that can come along. There's not one woman that can come along to change Nature Boy into a more righteous being. This nigga got to make that decision for himself.
Right. Exactly. And another thing I know I heard y'all talking about was like, when people do leave, like, okay, when I left, I was, trying to disconnect from it. But then I do get like with so-called trolls or whatever, like, talking shit to me, telling me I did this and you did that, and it's being real negative. And then those things like pushes you back to him. And that's what I feel is happening to Mama Malia. Like, I feel like she left. Like, obviously your body told you like that environment made you sick. Why? Don't go back to that environment. Don't go back to the
Right.
environment that made you sick. So, but her coming back into it, I think it's, the family coming online, all these little things, and she's just like, well, they're just lower self, they're the devils and all that, and it just pushes you back to him. And I feel like they don't have people like us that understand where they're coming from to be able to like just speak, good words into them. Like yesterday, I just broke down. I inboxed him. I inboxed everybody. I'm just like, saying certain things and just like, look, protect yourself. Like, and all these different things. And they're just like, you're a demon and all this. And he's saying like weird shit like, oh, I'm gonna fuck your brains out. Oh, and that's like, you already know me and you ain't like that. So it's like that. I don't even like. It's just weird. Like it's weird. But all I can do is really just speak my truth and try to speak like love and words into people. And I wanted to say that about other people that, when I know you have, your emotions and it's love at its core. But sometimes I'm like, when people leave out, like don't start talking shit about them and all that. It's like a sensitive thing, and
It's
I don't
very
want to push him back to him, because that's kind
it's
of what happened to me. Like I was,
See,
really.
that's one thing I have always talked about. Even with this whole situation, I have always said that's the last thing any of us really need to do is make fun of these people, because that's what the boy teaches teach people that if you listen to the way these people talk about you, they're gonna dog you out. They're gonna talk about you like a dog because they're demons. And then when y'all do leave that energy and y'all try to, move on to bigger and better things or whatever the case may be, you got people talking bad about you, then you thinking like, well, maybe they are trolls, maybe they are demons, because that's literally what he beating into your head every day, all day. Is that these are just my trolls, they my haters, they my demons, da, 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 da. And then y'all tend to form this hatred for us, because it's like you trying to stop my Messiah, you trying to stop my higher self, and then there becomes that disconnect in between the people who have left, between the people who are still lost, and the people who see see it for what it is.
Right.
I know through the times where I've always left and how I get through things. I really like started to gain more discernment. Like I stopped listening to him and I stopped listening to other people. I stopped listening to what people were saying about me, good and bad. And I stopped listening to what he was telling me and I started following my own heart, and that's when shit started popping out to me. Once I started listening and focused on myself and how I felt and the gut feelings that I was getting, that's when my discernment started kicking in way more. And I started to realize things from a distance. Um, because I had put myself at a distance now. I'm not allowing what someone said to affect me at this point. I'm not allowing what he's saying about me to affect me. I'm in a neutral space so that if anything comes to me, I could be able to filter that information, and based on however my discernment flags it to be, then I move on that. Not for him, not for somebody else, but for my own sake and how I feel, and everything has been panning out good for me. You know, the only times that the only reason why I went back multiple times to Nature World wasn't because of what somebody said about me, or or what he said about me. I went back because I wanted to, first of all, keep our family together. I wanted Eliana to have her mom and her dad in her life. I know what it's like to get your family torn apart, at a very young age. So I wanted to see that for Eliana. Needless to say, uh, that intention turned into another intention, because it was multiple things that was happening at one time. Another thing, another reason or under the agreement of why I went back was to for him to be monogamous with me, and to leave all of the women alone and stop using those women and having sex with them, and let them manifest their husbands if need be, but don't fuck over them. This was all a part of the agreements every time I went back to him. But because he didn't want to live a righteous life, he didn't want to build the nation that he's talking about. He wanted to build the right way. All of these good things that he says that he want to do, because he doesn't want to do it. I left because that's not the type of life I want to live. That's not the person he wants me to be. Is not the type of person that I am, and I will never be that type of person. He
Right.
wants me to be a demon with him.
Mm.
I don't know if you know. I'm gonna add this honor, and you could speak, or anybody else. I remember we was at Cookie House. I don't know if you was there. You wasn't there. This was sometime before you came. We was at Cookie House. Me and Joy literally sat in the living room in the meeting. You know how they have the family meetings and stuff. Me and Joy literally sat in the meeting and read his demons out, his astrological demons. We read them out to him, and I said, "This is why you are the way that you are." This man literally turned around to me and said, what if my demons are activated so that you can overcome yours? I said, I don't need to overcome no demons. You just bring the worst out of me. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So
Excuses, manipulation.
so at the end of the session, of course, he always flips it. He flips the script and make it seem like the other person is a demon and the other person isn't doing
Because he's
what's
a narcissist.
righteous. But his demons, if you read his demons and his actual them shits is honest to God true. He has multiple demons that says more than three that says that he needs to stay away from a cult. He needs to stay. It literally, I swear on my soul, y'all, in his astrological chart, it says he has an aspect that says he needs to stay away from having a god complex and building a cult. I swear on my soul.
Crazy.
He also have aspects in his chart where it says that if he is imbalanced in any kind of way, he's going to use sex as an escape. And multiple uh
Mm.
details in his is crazy, but it's true. And I read it. Me and Joy read it out loud, and everybody dismissed it and act like it wasn't even a thing, and act like it wasn't even. So at this point, my question to Carbonation, since he's your Messiah, if if he's your Messiah, then why is he portraying himself to be a demon? I know the story of Jesus when he was the had been considered the Messiah of the people. He did some crazy shit, but he wasn't on no fuck shit. You know what I'm saying? He did crazy shit, but he wasn't on no fuck shit. And I apologize for cursing, but it is what it is. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, ain't no Messiah gonna be on the social media for damn near 5 to 6 years, and the whole world don't know who this man is. Like the Messiah, like if you was the Messiah, you wouldn't even have to say that you're the Messiah, because
True.
motherfuckers gonna know.
Right. Yeah, and that's what he was trying to get me to say when we was going back and forth. Because like I want to address that because somebody said he cussed me out. I know all that yelling and all that stuff. That's emotional stuff. That's female traits. Like that's what that is. So I look past that. I look at what he was saying, and it was like before that happened, I went through like this headache. The universe just made me like stop listening to them, stop engaging with the so-called knowledge and all that, and just sit with myself with this headache for like almost 2 weeks. And then when I get back online with and come on to the panel, because they started talking about me, but they didn't know I was in the comments. So he was like, "Come on up, it's an R&M moment or whatever." And so he started like just trying to manipulate me into saying something that wasn't true to myself, and kept cutting me off. And I was like, I value my mind, I value my opinion. Like if you don't, and then he was like, you should just be saying facts, Commander. And am I the Messiah? Like Messiah is a messenger, and I said it in my video. That you gave me a message, but I get messages from other people, and I'm not gonna play on this word Messiah because I don't look at it as the same as the Bible. And I know other people are probably looking at it. He's like, I'm your higher self. It's like, and that's why I made a video after that because he's like, you gotta apologize. I'm not gonna apologize for being myself, for wanting to speak my mind. Like that's crazy. So I just realized the real manipulation in the whole thing, and I was like, I don't want other people to I think those girls over there, they really look at him like the Messiah. Like if they leave him,
Yeah,
they're going to hell. He tried to tell me I'm going to hell. I don't believe in that shit. I'm
yeah,
living in the now. I'm trying to do righteous right now. Like I don't believe, oh, I'm going to hell because of something. You can't condemn me to hell anyways. Like,
right. He can't condemn you to hell, and that was the most, like, that was the thing that really got me to understand that he was fake, because I'm like, hold on, you can't. I'm not doing nothing wrong, first of all.
right,
So why are you even saying that to me? You know
Man,
what I'm
y'all be
saying? That's the type of stuff you use to people to try to get them to fear tactics. You know what
right,
I'm
yeah.
saying?
That's
Even jumping
part
off
of
the
the
cliffs, huh,
that's part
Dad?
of the God complex
The God
every cult
complex.
that every cult leader um have with them. That's part of the thing they do.
crazy.
That's so sad. Like
Yeah,
he tried to use all type of fear tactics, like jumping off waterfalls. He used as a fear tactic. All kind of stuff. All kind of stuff he uses. And try to make people to stay. There. I wanted to ask you a question though, Honor,
yeah.
because I know for me personally, every time I had to leave combination, it was like every time I had to leave, I had to escape. So like, how was that situation for you? Like when you had to leave, like was it as easier to leave? Did he allow you to like, or did he make it hard for you? Did he like um
No,
try to talk to you before
yeah,
leaving?
he did. He said, I told him I want to go be able to teach my children and stuff. Like I need to be able to teach them hands-on. He was like, oh, your children are you, and um, oh, the children are Babylon and this and that. I'm like, we all came from so-called Babylon, and we all came from different fathers and all that. So that don't mean nothing really. He was like, okay. He did have my ID when y'all was like, remember y'all had left somewhere and then came back, he had my ID. So when he came back, I had to tell him multiple times that I'm ready to go. And, he was just like, all right. And then one time I told him and then he gave me, cause he did take the phone for a second and gave me the phone back. And he was like, all right, contact your people. But there was no internet. So I couldn't contact people. So I had to be like, okay, I'm gonna stay for a little bit and think about it. And once the internet came back on, I, contacted my people and let them know I want to go. And, it wasn't that hard. But I did let him know I was trying to go. And he just, eventually let me.
Mm. I want to make another. Wait, wait, Kimani, Kimani. I want to make another. I want to make another video.
Mommy, it's juice. Apple juice.
Apple juice. You want some apple juice?
There's Princess. What
She
do you
too
think?
cute.
I want to make another live where I talk about how I escaped all those times, like what I had to go through to escape. Like
You gonna get to it, man.
Yeah.
Honor, when you was there, when in Mexico, I had to like I was playing along the whole time because he had confiscated my documents, and he was like really threatening to physically abuse me and kill me. I know you was there that moment when he threatened to kill Malia.
Hmm.
Before that moment, he threatened to kill me, like
Crazy.
on a real serious occasion. Like he didn't even do that in front of y'all. You know what I'm saying? Because he really had to scare me, like, or try to scare me. But
That's it.
yeah, in Mexico, I was indifferent that entire time. I did not want to be there that entire time. I was planning my escape that entire time.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I'm glad that you're out. You know, I just want to say
I'm
that
glad.
you're out
I'm
there.
glad that you come to the realization. Cause what happened? What Wait, what happened?
It's like apple juice.
Where your apple juice, baby?
Like apple juice. And I can't.
Gigi didn't get her no
You
apple.
want some apple juice?
They're trying to get her something to drink now.
We can chat. I didn't know you text me. We can chat more. In private honor, or what would you like to be called?
You said what? Yeah, I would like to definitely chat more in private.
What would you like me to call you? Would you still want
Oh,
to
my
be
name's Alicia.
Alicia?
Yeah, Alicia.
Alicia, there it is, y'all. Call her by her real name.
Alicia. Well, either way, we could definitely hook up. Um, Outside of this panel, you could stay on it and chime in at any moment if you want. I'm gonna keep you on the panel.
Okay.
Um, if you want to, you can leave if you want. Whatever you want to do, but preferably I'll keep you on here. But we can just proceed with the conversation, y'all. If anybody else got anything to say. I know
No.
Bay Sade came in the room. What's up, girl?
Yeah, I definitely have a mouthful. Just give me 1 second, okay?
For sure.
Oh,
Alicia. I think we made the hit list, y'all.
I don't know what that is, but
The
yay.
heat, the
The
heat,
heat, the
the
heat
heat
list. My
list.
bad.
Number, yeah, you number one on the heat list.
You sound like them clowns at my job, man. You on the hit list.
Mm. I think it's good that Velvet. I think it's good that you are speaking out so that people can understand where you're coming from. Because a lot of people do have misconceptions about you, and I get it. You know, with the past. So I think it's good that you are speaking out about what it's really like to be at carbonation. So many people I have seen like, oh, she's going back, she's not gonna stay, blah blah blah. I personally knew, and I well, I'll tell you that later. But I personally had the feeling inside this time you were going to stay because you once you apologized to Pops and Tina and your family, I knew that was it. And the icing on the cake for you, from what I've seen, was when you said on your live that he had all of those guys and everybody in the circle. And I knew for you like that was a final point and you wanted to protect baby Eliana and you knew it was like this is not it. This dude is not changing. He's a whole demon. So that's what I saw in you. So like I said, I'm glad that you are talking and telling your story so that people can hear you and understand where you are coming from instead of people speculating about bullshit about you.
Purple hearts.
Right. I have to speak out because I don't want
There you go.
I don't want it to keep happening. And you know, I also keep speaking out because everyone doesn't know this, but there was a uproar, a controversy on social media about maybe 2 weeks ago to a month ago, where everybody knew that I was talking to Nature Boy over the phone. Needless to say, during these three phone calls I had with him, I was able to find closure from the situation. Like I was going through a whole bunch of mental things before the conversations, but after the conversations, I don't like now. I don't think about him no more. I
Mhm.
wouldn't think about being with him or anything. It'll be like thoughts like, what the fuck, like what this really happened, like this nigga really ain't shit, he really don't care about me. I would cry a lot, I would do a lot of crying. But now since I've had those conversations with him, um it gave me a lot of closure to dealing with him the way that I need to, because I was shown by the grace of God everything that I needed to be shown in those three phone calls. So what happened? Well, I'll tell you the verbatim story on another live, but just to give you a little bit of information, when I talked to him these three times on the phone, I was able to express to the entire carbonation that Nature Boy was wrong and that I was right. the whole time, and that he should have listened to me from the beginning. And if he would have listened to me, then it would be a totally different world. You know, certain things would have never happened if he would have listened to me. And he took responsibility for that in front of Carbonation. But ever since that, those phone conversations, and because I didn't go back to him, he got mad, and he got online and started saying all of these things. And now he don't care about me no more. He's saying all these hurtful things, and Carbonation just forgot about this moment. Like, they just forgot about this him taking responsibility for it, and like, it got to the point where they were all clapping for me, Honor, like on some rush. Alicia, they was literally clapping for me, like she's smart as fuck. But because he has, them all brainwashed, they just forgot about that whole moment. But I personally found closure from it because of the fact that I was able to speak my voice and finally felt heard, and he took responsibility. I don't care if he took the responsibility back. Just for him taking responsibility in that moment, it gave me closure, and I was thankful. Shit.
Hmm.
And I was able to win over every mining carbonation. You know how hard that is? Like, they could forget about that moment all they want, but the truth will always reign.
Is there anyone there now that I know a lot of them are brainwashed and manipulated, but do you think there's anyone there now that still has the mindset like I do want to leave, but I don't know how to?
I think a couple people feel like that there. I'm not exactly sure who, but
Mhm.
I know for a fact that some of those people there have thoughts like that. They just don't know. They're afraid. They're either afraid to leave because they don't feel like because Nature Boy says stuff like, "You'll never find anyone that understands you as deeply as I do," which is a fear
Mhm.
tactic to make you feel like nobody will understand you. On top of that, he uses that as a weak spot for everybody there, because he knows that everybody who ever been in carbonation have kind of been like outcasts, should I say, like in they realities. Like, they
Yeah.
don't really have friends, they loners, shit like that. So he uses that tactic to keep them there. He'll say stuff like what Alicia said earlier: you gonna go to hell if you disobey me. I'm the way, the truth, and the light. I'm the only thing that's gonna lead you into your own salvation. Um, he says stuff like, you're gonna be in your lower self. You're gonna be working a 9 to 5. These people don't want to work. They don't want to get a job. And let me be totally transparent with y'all. I don't really necessarily believe in the indenture work that we do within our society, but I also how to get around that. I know loopholes how to get around that to be able to be self-sustainable. But the way that Nature Boy is going about it, he's going to an extreme degree. So what he has done to sustain himself is conjure up people who have residual income. Some of those people over there have residual incomes,
Mhm.
and they pool their resources in order for them to stay outside of the U.S. jurisdiction the way that they do. Needless to say, um, he uses all of these little fear tactics to keep them there, and everybody's going through their own little mental thing. That's there.
You
So
also gotta remember too that, like how you said, they watch you get abused, and to them they felt like he loved you. And if he could hurt you the way that he hurt you, what would he do then? You get what I'm saying? And a lot of the females there feel like they don't have support, but they do. They really do.
they
Effort,
don't.
she got her parents. Aya has her sister, her aunt. You know, um,
Okay, who is Bay Sade? She's just sitting in the room like, I want to hear. I'm sorry, Tina, to cut you off, but I'm trying to
let me
understand
think.
who it is.
Hi, what's up? How are you? Hi, everybody. So, first of all, I just want to say I have an incredible amount of respect for you in lieu of like all of the shit that has gone on between you and him. I got caught up in a lot of this Nature Boy shit around December or whatever, and really, I just came up to kind of like supplement a lot of what you're saying, just because in the short amount of time that I was involved, you know, I seen all the same things that you're speaking of, and I really just came up just to show my face because there's been a lot of conversations about you on my platform, where I've had to be like, yo, I don't know her, she doesn't know me, whatever her decisions are, y'all gotta respect that. So just having spoken on your name, having like had conversations about you on my platform, I just wanted to come and show my face and just introduce myself to you or whatever, because my name is gonna come up if it has not already come up already. So I just wanted to, say hey.
What's up?
And
So
that's pretty much.
they Sade, are you? So they're saying that you were on his panels and stuff. Are you one of his supporters or you believe his fuck shit?
Nah, I'm not any of that.
Okay.
I only knew him for less than a week before I
What?
got like sucked up in the bullshit,
There's a lady.
um, or whatever. So like I can't say that I support
I'm
his
gonna
rhetoric,
get back.
or anything like that. You know,
Okay.
I fucked with a lot of the conversation that we had in the first couple of days, but shit, everything unwound within 3 or 4 days, and then shit, my name was all in the blogs, and I'm hearing about your story and all this other shit. So regardless, um, my people hit me up and said that you're on here now, and I'm like, okay, let me go introduce myself to her, and that's that. You know, what these people do in the comment section. You know how they troll and do all that other shit. So that's the least of my worries. I'm speaking to you directly.
Well, it's nice to meet you.
Yeah.
I'm just bringing awareness to the situation and speaking up on my behalf.
Okay. Well, that's really all I came up to say.
Okay. Bye. Thank you.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Good night.
What the hell?
Tina, what you was saying? You said, hold on, let's backtrack. We backtracking. You said what now, Tina? You said the women feel like they have.
Wait, I'm sorry. No, I was saying it's if they feel like they don't have the support, they do. You know, not just us, the people that's trying to bring awareness, but they have family members that's there for them. All they gotta do
Absolutely.
is speak out, reach out. At the end of the day, people thought that you were brainwashed, and you still reached out. You still found your way back home. And even though he makes it hard for everybody to leave, it's possible. It's possible.
Yes, what he
Right.
don't understand. Velvet, Velvet always reached out. She did.
He refrains from anyone having real contact with their families because he wants you to only depend on him. He wants to have full control over you.
Yeah.
He doesn't need anybody in your life that's gonna be able to have an opinion to say something about your decision making. So he tries to refrain people from really fully having a relationship. He would try to say like, oh, I let them talk to their parents and shit like that to try to save face, but in actuality he really doesn't want us to have relationships with our families because he wants us to depend on him so that he can have full
And when he
control
found
of.
out, he took her phone.
Yeah, that's another thing you should speak on, Vel. How remember when we came to Mexico and you were like, by the time the authorities like really, really stepped in and brought you guys, he had y'all up for like hours on end talking to y'all, and by the time you guys came to the station and you confronted us, you had mentioned to me and Daddy that you know in your head at that time you were in survival mode. It was all about them, that they were your family, because that's what he kept drilling in your guys' head. He does a lot of he drills them a lot. He keeps them up, out. That's another thing you should talk about.
Sleep deprivation.
Yeah, that's a whole situation right there. Like, even still to this day, like, he'll pull meetings and like talk to us hours on end It used like back in the days, like when I first started, it used to be really, really, really bad. Like
Mm.
now, I don't really know how it is now, but when I was recently there, everybody, because he had drilled everybody mentally for so long, everybody's on, one mind. You know what I'm saying? They all pretty much got an established routine about how they go about their everyday. So he's pretty much got everything under control. So I don't know if they have as long, meetings that they usually do now, but I know that it's very extensive. Like if anybody's ever having indifferent thoughts about being there or him being the Messiah, he will take his time out and he will talk to you all day, every day, literally just so that you can agree with him, just so that you can be at a point where you're just like, I believe you, and that's all I'm gonna believe in. Period. You know, and I could go into detail about like some of the things that we would talk about. It would be a whole bunch of gaslighting, a whole bunch of you're weak. He'll always call us weak. Everybody's weak to him.
Mhm.
He'll always call us immature. Everyone's a child to him in his environment. It's always a belittlement with him. It's never uplifting. And if he is uplifting you in a moment, in the next second he gonna take it all back.
Yep.
Because what happens is uh he needs energy to thrive. Like he needs fuel to thrive. So if he give you fuel, he's giving away his power. So he has to find a way to take all that back just so he can feel good about himself, because he's incompetent and insecure somewhere down the line.
One of the things that I hear that he has said, and I hear sometimes and I don't know if you want to address this real quick. Like one of the lives that you had like a while back, a couple of weeks ago, where he was like, "Yeah, look at her. She's high on. I think he said you do coke or some one of them crazy shits he said you were doing." So just to clear up any rumors, because people, I do see it in the comments. When I be lurking around, people be like, "Oh, she's high on drugs and blah blah blah." So just clear up that rumor that if that's something you don't do, because he is
I
spreading that shit out here.
I do not do drugs. If anything, I wouldn't be surprised if he do drugs. By the way he act, I wouldn't be surprised if he do drugs, but I don't do drugs. I could get tested right now. You know what I'm saying? And for some shit that y'all allegedly said that I do, and it don't come up in my system because I don't do that. The most I do is enjoy myself. You feel me?
Mhm.
So you know what I'm saying? I don't do hard drugs, or I don't even do hard liquor. You know what I'm saying? I never was that type of person. I never was a outside type of person. Like ever since I left Nature Boy, this was the time that I really like went out. You know what I'm saying? Like with my sisters and shit, and enjoy myself. I never was that type of person. I never was out going to the club and drinking and smoking and doing drugs. I was into some other shit. I was trying to find programs that I could get certificates for doing agriculture. This is the type of stuff that I was into, as a young age. I was trying to understand who farm I could go work at. Who backyard I can go dig up for some money to plant some plants down, and exchange a good service for energy. You know what I'm saying? This is the type of stuff that I was always on. So is what it is. I know people ask if I do coke because I always mess with my nose. I always like itch my nose and stuff. I don't know. That's just a part of who I am. Like ever since I was young, I used to always smell my food. My mama used to say your nose gonna fall off because you're always smelling stuff, right? So I stopped smelling a lot of stuff, but now it's always just been like, if I got boogers in my nose, I'm getting them out. Like I don't care who's watching, I don't care who's around. If it's in there, it's in there. Like you could have your boogers in your nose and that shit irritate you all day long. I'm not doing it.
I feel you on that one. Um, Grand said, "Add black and proud."
What it is?
Black and proud.
Can I drop somebody and add Boomy in? I want to add Boomy in.
Put him at 7.
Fuck yeah, I'm
Put him
about to
at
add
7.
Boomy. I don't see that person who y'all wanted me to add.
They not in the queue.
What up, y'all?
What's up? What's up? What's up, Boomy?
Okay,
How y'all doing?
good.
We doing good.
That's
I'm
what's
doing
up.
good. How you doing?
I'm doing well. Doing very well.
This is a guy who went to carbonation and left. Like Alicia and myself. If there's anything you want to express, bro, you can express yourself readily. You know what I'm saying? It don't even matter.
Um, I just I'm just thankful to be present, and I'm just thankful that people are finding their strength to be able to speak out and be not muffled from their free expression.
I
You know
want
what
to
I'm saying?
I want to throw you in the mix right quick. Not on no sketchy shit, but I got a question, right?
What's good?
What was the experience like? I always wonder, like I just really wanted to get up close to the man for some reason, just so I could experience it from y'all perspective, because people don't realize that in carbonation, Nature Boy plays the men and the women against each other. So there's a women's world and then there's a man's world, or you know what I'm saying, it's two separate worlds. So what was your experience like? I mean, you can express it however you want. You don't have to go into too much detail if you don't want to, or you can go there if you want. But what was it like, your experience being a man and going to carbonation and enduring what you had dealt with from Nature Boy? What was that like?
Um, it was like dealing with two different people at any given time. You know what I'm saying? Like in one instance, you feel like he could be attempting to be like this OG type of a big bro figure or whatever, and then it'd get to his face where it'd just flip around and it'd just seem uh like he'd be like doing things to like try or test men to see like how they gonna react about certain things, or like to put them in their place type of deal, and
To have control, like to regain control over you.
right. And it would be weird like being around the men because like you could sense when the man would feel away when he would do that. But then as they would like sit and like ponder on it, I guess they would always try to work their way back to like this is a necessary lesson that I
Like
gotta
valid
go through.
for
And
validation.
you know what I'm saying? He knows more than I know, so he knows how to test my will, and this is just my debilitation that I gotta get over. And so
So is it safe to say, huh? So is it safe to say that those men are like those men are being emasculated by Nature Boy because of his characteristics, like who he is as a person is like naturally just emasculates men who's in his presence.
definitely, it's a it's almost like a fantasy world. It's almost like they really want to believe who they're trying to like make him out to be. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I feel like sometimes I feel like the people there be trying to cling hold to the idea of who he puts himself out to be, as opposed to like really truly believing it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. In other words, people falling for who he pretends to be and not realizing who he actually is, because they're in denial about his actions and what he do and shit like that. It's really sad. It's really sad. Like it's really really sad. Like that's really really sad. Like that's crazy. Like how do you feel as a man about Nature Boy? I know he didn't take your woman. I know that he didn't have sex with your woman, but if you could like put yourself in their shoes, in those shoes, how would you feel as a man? Like, how do you feel about Nature Boy doing that with all those women? Like when he had sex with Zoka, with that baby, with Solar's 6 month, 7 month old baby in her. Like, how did that make you feel? Like, and then watching him sleep with Sheba and coercing Sheba to have sex with him, like all that shit.
It was weird, you know what I'm saying? And like I was over there with the men, after he separated everybody. And I remember just kind of like being in a space where I was like kind of wanting to like have like an open dialogue in the house about how the men really felt. You feel what I'm saying? Because clearly like our whole living, like I know y'all living situation totally took a, what I'm saying, 180 switch, and our living situation did too. So it was like, so the men that came over there that women had got took, it was like we could feel the energy of like the unsettling energy that they had brought into the space, right? So I remember how we would do like meetings often. So we would like trying to keep with the pattern of making sure that we checked in and had meetings often. And I remember like kind of bringing up like, what I'm saying, like how do we feel, like, what I'm saying, like in particular the men that had just lost their women, what I'm saying, because I could just feel like a lot of sorrow and hurt and pain, going on. And again, like I said, in that environment, it just kind of like went to a space of like, oh, the knowledge, and I understand the higher perspective, but this is that and so forth. And
So, so
it actually it flipped it to them trying to highlight something in me that was a debilitation to me, and then it just, now it just turned into a situation of me trying to defend myself about something totally irrelevant to the point of what I was trying to address.
so
And I
pretty
did, and you deal with that a lot in that environment.
so so on the men's perspective, on the men's side, it's always just turned into some debilitation that y'all gotta overcome. Whatever scenario or circumstance Nature Boy created, it has to do with some debilitation that you have in your chart that you gotta overcome.
Yeah, pretty much. And
It's
like
weird
some,
because it's a cycle. It's a cycle because these people should have been got over that debilitation. Like, if you trying to take somebody girl to get over a debilitation, then if that man got his girl back, why you still trying to take his girl? If he learned his debilitated or got over his debilitation, you should leave them alone. But it's deeper than the debilitation. He just, he hones in on everybody's demons because he doesn't allow people's angelic sides to flourish because he's not an angelic person. The only thing a demon can do is draw what it is out of its environment and out of people. That's it. You know what I'm saying? So a debilitation, he hones in on everyone's debilitation to keep the demonic toxic cycle going, because if any one of us had overcame our debilitations, do you know how righteous that place would be? Do you know how righteous that place would be if everybody
right.
was to overcome their debilitations? But no, he doesn't talk about people, angels, and encourage people on being in their angelic side, because he wants the demonic shit to keep happening, because that's what he is, and that's all he wants to experience in his life.
But see,
Period.
that's what he get off on, Val.
Exactly.
It's like because he trying to be pimping. One thing pimps like to do is knock other pimps for their hoes, and basically that's what he get off on because he still have control over the men and the women. So here, I'm gonna give him back to you because this what I can do. But when I feel like it, I'm gonna knock him. I'm gonna knock you and take him back again. But he only have control over the people that's there.
Yeah. It was very hard for him to have control over my mind That's why it was very physically abusive on my behalf. I've seen him hit other women on occasion there at Carbonation, but I was the only one really getting physically beat the fuck down by him. Like, I don't know if Malia was getting beat the fuck down by him. I never witnessed her getting beat down by him, but I have witnessed him choke her and slap her and stuff like that.
That's because
But
he was too strong. He still only person he really had to break was you, and he still ain't do it.
he
Thank God.
still didn't break me. He was so mad. I'm coming. He was so mad on July 4th that I wouldn't allow him to break me. And I didn't allow him to break me. I kept my soul intact. Yeah. Yeah. Why Eliana started smiling and laughing at that point? Say hey. 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 You done?
All of them. Everybody is suffering from abuse by him. He abuses all of them.
He does. He abuses everyone in some form or fashion.
Right.
Girl, I'm not playing with you. Ow. What happened? Ow. Oh man, it's a lot more information, y'all. I want to categorize. I want to like do separate lives honing in on certain topics just to go into details about things. It's just a whole bunch more information, that we need to, this uncover, in the certain like certain things that happen. We need to like dive deep into every category. And I just want to take my time to talk about these certain topics. And I'm going to keep doing these panels. So if y'all ever want to come back in and hop back in the panels and speak on our behalf as witnesses and everything like that, we could do that too. But I'm going to keep these lives going so that we can really bring awareness to what's going on, because shit ain't right. Period.
And yeah, people always say, "Oh, we need to take down carbonation, etc." And I always say, the only way that he's going to be taken down is if people who were there, they start speaking out. That's the only way, because you guys know the truth. You've experienced it. So this is the time to speak out. And I know you can't rush, you can't rush that, because everyone heals differently. But Anna, even though Anna cursed me out and I got into it with her on IG, Anna and like Boomy and Val and all the others, and even Star. I think someone says Syrians in here as well. It just takes time for you guys to heal and then speak out the truths about the demon, because that's what he is. He's a devil.
For
So
sure.
that way the word can get out about him, especially on here, because he's out here manipulating a lot of people on this app. And I'm like, well, this shit is crazy over here. So I
That's why
commend you
we on
guys.
this. This is exactly why we on this app, because he couldn't continue his shenanigans on Instagram or Facebook.
He got cut
He's
off.
moved to Bigo.
Yep. He got cut. He got blocked on Facebook. IG keeps blocking him, so he came over here for his fuck shit and to make money off of it. Yep.
Well, my device is on 10%, almost 9% now. Dad, where you at? You wanna stay? You wanna stay on here longer?
He went to sleep.
No, I'm good. I gotta get my bag in the morning. I gotta be at the range. So
For sure.
Ow,
Um,
going to the range.
let's take it down, guys.
I
I'm
got
about
class.
to I'm about to put Eliana to sleep. It's 11 where I am right now. It was good talking with y'all. I love this build. Let's do it again.
Yeah, y'all. Sorry it was so
Yeah,
loud too.
do that.
Yeah. That baby's running around, y'all. All right.
Alicia
I'm
and
thankful for this. I'm thankful
shout
for
out to
this,
y'all.
Velvet. I'm thankful for it, and Definitely check your inbox because I still want to talk to you and build with you. And
Let's do
it's
it.
it's beautiful talking to you now too.
Absolutely. I'm gonna check it. I'm gonna hit you up tonight.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Talk to you later.
Bye.
Y'all have a good night. Thank y'all for coming.
Good
Later,
night, y'all.
booby.
Very cool.
Peace. Good night,
See you
y'all.
later.
Yeah, yeah.